Hi everyone, in this video we'll be going through how to process data in the titration experiment. So at the end of the lesson you should be able to know what a concordant result is, right? When should I stop doing my titrations, that means my accurate titration experiments, and how do I process my titration results. So firstly we must understand what does the word concordant mean. So to be concordant means that you must be agreement with. And in a titration experiment, to be concordant means that the two titration data or three titration data are within 0.20 cm cube of each other. And we know that 0.20 cm cube is actually 4 drops. That means you're looking at really very close to each other. Right, so let's try some examples. So let's first look at this one. Are these two numbers concordant? So because they are 0.10 cm cube away from each other, they are concordant. What about this one? Because the difference between the two results is 0.30, these two results are not concordant. What about this last one? Because these two results are within 0.20 cm cube, they are therefore concordant. Right? So now we know what are concordant results. Let's see how it pans out in a titration experiment. So let's look at the results of student A. In student A, the initial reading for student A's rough titration was 1.30, and the final reading of the rough titration was 23.50, giving him a rough value of 22.20. So student A did a accurate titration and found out that in his accurate titration he got 21.90. Now 22.20 and 21.90 is not concordant because it's 0.30 cm cube away. So therefore student A will need to do another accurate titration experiment. So he took the initial burette reading again, probably filled it up again, took the final burette reading, and found out that his third titration, which is his second accurate titration, has a titration reading of 21.80. Now 21.90 and 21.80 are concordant because it's 0.10 difference. So what do? We will tick 21.90 and tick 21.80 and call these two concordant results. Because we have a set of concordant results, we will stop the titration. Right, we don't need to do any more. So we got concordant results, we don't need to do any more. What's the next step we need to do? We need to calculate the average titration volume. So the average titration volume is taking only the concordant results. We ignore non-concordant results. That means we will ignore, in this example, 22.20, and we'll only use the 21.90 and 21.80 to find the average of these two data. If there's 3 concordant results, then 3. But this one only 2, so take the 2, the average of the 2, and 21.85, which is and must always be written as 2 decimal place. Okay, let's look at student B. Student B did the rough titration, and his rough titration value is 23.10. So using his rough value, student B conducted an accurate titration and found out that his accurate titration value is 23.00. And you can see that both the rough titration and the accurate titration is concordant of each other because both readings are within 0.10. So what does he do? He will tick this value, and because he have a set of concordant results, he can stop the titration. After he has stopped the titration, he needs to calculate the average titration reading of his concordant results. So 23.10 plus 23.00 divided by 2 give me the average 23.05. Now, in the exam, it is exceptionally important that you show your working on how you calculated the titration reading, average titration reading. So for example, what I'm showing you here, you must show the working for the average titration reading. Must. Now let's look at student C. Now student C, I believe, is something that's closer to all of your, slightly, especially during the first few practices. So student C rough volume is 25.20, and when student C did his first accurate titration, he got 23.40, which is very far away from the rough titration. So he decided to do another accurate titration, and his next accurate titration is 24.60, which is still not concordant, very far away because it's more than 0.20. So decide to draw the fourth column, right? Because I need to do another accurate titration. So at this accurate titration, you got a value of 25.10. So now you see that although this student did 4 titrations, the fourth one was concordant with his rough titration. Now, once you got a set of concordant results, you can tick them, ignore the rest, right? Don't erase them because this is important, right? And then you stop the titration, right? Now take your concordant results, calculate the average, remember to show the working, right? And give the final answer to 2 decimal places. So when do I need to stop my titration? I will stop my titration until I get at least 2 concordant results, right? So continue and continue until you get 2 results. Most of the time, you will need a maximum 4 once you get enough practice, right? So that concludes our titration videos. I hope it has helped you. Okay, bye.